In this video, I'm going to share with you a 5-step process, how to set up, how to create, how to export, and how to sell LUTs using DaVinci Resolve and Gumroad. They're both free softwares, you can download them free, you can set up Gumroad for free, so this is going to cost you nothing, and you can start making money. So let's get into the video. So this is our starting shot, and then what I'll do is I'll have a CST in and a CST out. Now, this is going from S-Log into DaVinci Wide Gamut, and then from DaVinci Wide Gamut to Rec 709. And this is how I set up every single edit, every single color grade. So after the CST in, I will do any noise reduction if I need to. This shot doesn't really need any noise reduction because it was well exposed, bright day, so I'm happy with that. So I don't need noise reduction, so I'll keep that turned off. And then I will do my HDR exposure. So you can see I've just sort of brought the highlights down a little bit here. I've just lowered the exposure a little bit on this shot. Didn't need to do too much in terms of exposure because it was a well exposed shot in camera. Generally want to get your image as close as possible to where you're happy with it in camera. And then when it comes to color grading, it just makes your life a lot easier. And then after that, we had our balance. So I've just slight adjustment on the white balance. I've just taken that sort of red hue off it and just neutralized it a little bit. And then contrast, which is probably the main one. So you can see that difference of adding contrast to a shot makes a massive, massive difference. So that's why I don't like to include exposure, white balance, or contrast in a LUT, because it's just too unpredictable between shot to shot. I'd rather do this before I apply a look, because a look is really just a change in your hue, your saturation, your luminance. After that's been done, I can go into my creative changes here and I'll turn them on, and you can see that the shot has changed substantially. But the good thing is, if I export this as a LUT, I can apply this to other pieces of footage without having to worry about white balance, contrast, any color space transforms. It's all going to be done outside the LUT. I haven't baked that into the LUT. So after that, I've got a vignette and some grain, which I also don't include in the LUT. So this essentially here is what you would export as a LUT. That being said, if I did want to export that as a LUT, I would just go to clips. And then what I would do, so I've got my shot here, the last one, I would basically just turn off anything that I don't want included in the lookup table. And then now I can see that I've got these 9 nodes switched on, that this is the LUT. So if I right click and then generate LUT, 65 point cube, then I can actually save that into my folder, and that's a LUT. That's how you create a LUT in DaVinci Resolve. And because I've built it in DaVinci Wide Gamut, when I import this into another project or timeline, I'll want to make sure I have that same structure. And it just means I know that if I want this certain look, let me just turn it all back on. If I want this certain look in another project, I know that I can get pretty close with just dropping that LUT in and getting it onto the footage. And I know that my greens are going to kind of look like this. I'm going to have a similar looking image. And then if I do need to tweak things like the vignette or add some less grain or just no grain at all, or if the shot's not exposed correctly, or if the white balance is really bad, or if the contrast needs adjusted, then I know that I can do all of that outside the LUT and then still get the image to a pretty good place like this. And then the benefit of that is as well, if you're creating your own LUTs, you can sell just this part, and anyone who buys it will download this and they can apply it straight to their footage without having to do any of the hard work. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to gumroad.com and set up an account and then create a new product. Basically, let's say LUT, and then let's say we sell it for $5, and then we hit customize. And then basically we just go through this process, put in the name, the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that gave you some insight into how to develop a digital product. and get it up, start making some money online, which is what we all want to do. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.